Hi everyone, welcome to Grantwriting and welcome to CUNY. I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about this course in particular. First of all, I think you're going to find this a very useful course professionally and personally. Grants and grant writing. I'm going to just give you an intro to what grants are, the certain sections, and a practice, kind of a simulation, if you will, of how to put a proposal together and how to actually get one in on time. We're going to look at some of the things that affect funding, and we're going to learn a lot of terminology. But mainly, you are going to walk away with an understanding of what it's like to look for funding, respond to funding, and get a funding proposal in. I want to say something about timelines, and calendaring. In this course, it's extremely important to pay attention to time and deadlines and calendars. In the disability studies and disability services and higher education courses that we teach here at CUNY and other courses that I teach everywhere, I'm very cognizant and supportive of accommodations and the need for people to sometimes turn things in late or have extended time. That unfortunately doesn't work in this course. So this course goes extremely against what we call crip time, maybe in disability studies parlance. Know that ahead of time. Think about that and whether you can adhere to strict deadlines. In the world of grants, sadly, there is no crib time. In the world of grants, you don't get extensions. Unless something happened on the funder's end and their website went down, you don't get money by turning in a grant late. You just don't get any sort of evaluation. Your grant does not get considered. So I'm going to say that again and again. And it's not to stress you out, it's to have you address this course with realistic expectations. I want you to pass. You can't pass if you don't meet the deadlines. If that's something you can't adhere to, you could choose another elective, or you could possibly choose to take this class pass-fail. But please pay particular attention to it, okay? I'll say it again at the end of this intro video. Before we get started, I'm going to talk about also, having said that, timelines, mental health, and wellness. This is my most passionate area of research. I do research in a lot of areas, but it all comes back to mental health and wellness. This picture shows my dog Hop's biscuit-colored Labrador out in the desert, Joshua Tree specifically in the Mojave Desert in Southern California. Always come back to your mental health and wellness. That's number one. If this course or something else is not working for you, come back to that aspect of your life where you say, what is going to lift me up? What's going to support me? What is this doing for my mental health and wellness? That's where I come from, personally and professionally. So I want to extend that to you. That's my philosophy of teaching and life. In my professional background, I've done a lot of things: academic advisement here at CUNY, career counseling here at CUNY and for the Veterans Administration, Voc rehabilitation, obviously grant writing. I teach philosophy, specifically ethics. I teach and look at issues of gender, issues of abuse and trauma. And in disability studies in particular, I've looked at mental health, immigration, stigma, access to education. I've also done a lot of coaching for writing skills. I went to San Diego State for a couple of undergrad degrees, a couple of master's degrees. I came to New York to do my PhD in Stony Brook, and then I started with CUNY in the fall of 2019. Recent research for doctoral work has to do with institutionalization and people moving out or becoming de-institutionalized. So when I looked at that, specifically on Long Island, a couple of things came up that I was really surprised about. sometimes when people are deinstitutionalized, their experiences are not necessarily wonderful. While it's better than mass institutionalization and institutionalization against one's will, sometimes we are putting people in smaller silos or trans-institutionalizing people. And that's something I think about a lot. I also think a lot about trauma and how trauma can further disability, how trauma can limit people's access. I think about trauma specifically right now in regard to how people have been abused, how that adds to disability, and children's rights, human rights, specifically around child sexual assault. One thing we're going to start on right away is you learning some new terminology. In grants, there's a call for funding. It could be called an RFP, an RFA, a request for assistance, a request for an application, a request for a proposal. These are terms and acronyms you're going to start learning, but basically this entire class is built around a call for funding, meaning someone with money says, I have money, I want you to write a proposal in response. That's what we're doing this entire semester, learning how to apply for, respond to a call for funding. In this course or any course you have, please read your syllabus, ask questions, ask more questions, seek me out for help. I have office hours in this particular class on Tuesdays. Look at the syllabus and think about, can you meet these deadlines? Will you be able to adhere to strict deadlines? There is no crib time in grants. I'm sorry. Not saying that to be mean or to try to go against the entire movement of disability studies and how we empower people. But the truth is, in the grants world, we don't have crib time. So think about that very, very carefully before committing to finishing or going on in this course. Again, here's how to reach me. In Brightspace, you'll introduce yourself the first week. You'll read the syllabus, think about the course layout. If you need me, I'm in Zoom hours on Tuesdays for this course. You can also email me for other times. I'm so glad you're here. I think if you stay, you'll learn a lot and you'll find that this course is useful, not just for the professional world, but for your personal world as well. Thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you online.